Hey guys, and welcome back to another video where today I'm going to be predicting the scores of week 23 of the 2021-2022 championship season. Slightly different camera this week. We hope ones have got a few problems. Hopefully you'll be back in action next time or next video. So apologise for that. Last week as well I was away, so the videos were all over the place a little bit last week with the updates and everything. But looking back at week 20, top scorer for the week with 10 points was the Dugout Football Channel. Dub came away with 3 perfect scores in week 20, and in week 21, which was the weekend just gone, top scorer there with 14 points with Alex Cochrane, and Alex had 4 perfect scores. Myself, last time out, absolutely terrible, just the 4 points and 1 perfect score. But we move on now to week 23. Another 12 fixtures to predict. These take place on Saturday the 11th of December and Monday the 13th of December as well. I'm not sure why no teams are playing on Sunday. There we are, that's how the fixtures have fallen. So, up against the clock as we usually are. Let's try and get this under 3 minutes. It'll probably be under just 4 or 5. But at the count of 3, 2, 1, let's go. So first up we've got Huddersfield coming up against Coventry. This takes place on Saturday 11th, 12:30 I believe. Huddersfield now sort of slipping down the table, only 1 win in their last 6 matches, coming up against Coventry side who have moved up or moved down slightly to 7th. Now only 1 win themselves in their last 6 matches. I think Coventry will bounce back in this one, because I haven't been impressed with Huddersfield's form all the way they're playing at the moment. So I'm going for Huddersfield 1, Coventry 2. Then we've got Birmingham coming up against Cardiff City. Cardiff, terrible at home, a lot better away. Birmingham, at the moment, you're not really sure what you're going to get out of them. 3 losses in the last 6 and just the 2 victories. So I fancy Cardiff in this one. Last time out against Sheffield Utd, they were lucky. They had a player sent off, Sean Morrison, for a silly challenge. And they were 1-0 up in that match and they lost 3-2 in the end. So I'm going to go for the Bluebirds in this one, 2-1. Then we've got Bournemouth coming up against Blackburn at home. Tough one to call this one. Blackburn now into 4th position, winning 4 of their last 6 matches. And Bournemouth, even though they're in 2nd, they've only won 1 out of those last 6. But they've only been defeated once as well, which means they've had... Actually, twice they've been defeated, which means they've only had 3. Which means they've had 3 draws. So I'm going to go for another draw in this one. Bournemouth 1, Blackburn 1. Then we've got Derby coming up against Blackpool. Derby bottom of the table. So they were turning the corner. They've only got 1 point on the board with that point deduction. But I fancy them to beat Blackpool in this one. I know Blackpool got heavily defeated in their last match, 3-0. They haven't won now in their last 6 fixtures, so I'm going to go for Derby 1, Blackpool 0. They've got Hull coming up against Bristol City. Bristol City, I think they've registered 2 victories in the last 3 matches, but I fancy Hull in this one, even though Hull only drew away against Reading, although Reading's fortunes sort of turning themselves. So I'm going for Hull 2, Bristol City 1. Then we've got Luton coming up against Fulham. Don't know what you're going to get with Luton from week to week. Last week it was 3-0 away victory against Blackpool, and prior to that they had 4 matches with 3 defeats and 1 draw. So in this one, I think Fulham top of the table. I think they've drawn 3 of their last 6 now, so I'm going to go for Luton 0, Fulham 2. Then we got Peterborough coming up against Millwall. I think Millwall should ease through this one only narrowly though, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 away win to the Lions. Then we've got Preston coming up against Barnsley, probably the most boring match of the weekend. I think Preston are just going to ease past Barnsley there, 2-0. Then we've got Stoke coming up against Middlesbrough. This one, a difficult one to predict. Middlesbrough now 2 wins on the bounce, away against Huddersfield and home against Swansea, even though Swans fans say they dominated that match against Middlesbrough. Stoke in 6th position, 4 wins out of 6, but I fancy Middlesbrough to take all 3 points in this one. I'm going to go for a 1-0 away win. Then we've got Swansea coming up against Nottingham Fr. This one's got draw written all over it. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between these 2 sides. Then we've got West Brom coming up against Reading. Now Reading, tough to predict at the moment. They did have that points deduction themselves, but a draw at home against Hull, who have been doing very well themselves recently, and an away win against Swansea. So I'm going to I'm just going to go with West Brom in this one. Okay, they've won only twice in the last 6, but they've only been defeated once there as well, and they did have a very good away victory against Coventry 2-1. So I'm going to go for West Brom 2, Reading 1. And the final fixture, which takes place on Monday the 13th, is Sheffield United coming against QPR. Sheffield United, that game against Cardiff could have gone either way, but it did go the way the Blades in the end. And QPR now in 5th position, defeated last time out against Stoke, which surprised me a little, but I'm going to go for Desmond's in this one. I'm going to go for Sheffield United 2, QPR 2. So let's stop the clock on 4 minutes 30. There we are concluded with our predictions for week 23 of this 2021-2022 championship season. As always, please leave your predictions in the comment section below and see if you can climb up the table. Incidentally, didn't actually show the table at the beginning of the match, but here it is now on the screen. As you can see, I once again am at the top of the table on 178 points, followed now by the Dugout Football channel, who has moved up into 2nd position on 165 points. Then we've got Shane on 163 and Liam Grayson on 157 points. So all to play for. Doug's now 13 points behind me, but he is gaining ground. Another little feature which I may include now going forward. A little treble for you to think about if you do have a little wager on the championship this weekend. I've identified a £5 bet here, which will return £29.90. Gamble responsibly, guys. As always, I've gone for Millwall to beat Peterborough, I've gone for Preston to beat Barnsley, and I've gone for West Brom to beat Reading. A £5 bet there will give you returns of £29.19. Food for thought. But there, guys, that's it for another week of Championship football. Remember, make sure you leave your predictions in the comment section and climb up that table. But for now, I'll bid you all farewell, and I'll see you all in the next video.